Hi, my name is Beverly Kundell, Senior National Account Executive at National Mortgage Professional Magazine, and I would like to welcome you to National Mortgage Professional Magazine's webinar titled Mobile Marketing for Mortgage Professionals, sponsored and presented by Mortgage MAPP. I would like to thank all of our webinar attendees for taking the time out of their busy days for this very valuable and informative webinar in our ongoing series of webinars. Conducting today's webinar is Ryan Leopold, who is the Senior Loan Officer for Cobalt Mortgage and Mobile Marketing Consultant for Mortgage MAPP. Ryan has funded roughly $500 million in loans over the past 15 years. His experience includes teaching numerous seminars as well as working in both a big bank and a small brokerage environment. Ryan's search for the best technology has driven him to use smartphones to drive referrals while building top-of-mind relationships with his agents and partners. I would especially like to thank today's webinar sponsor and presenter, Mortgage MAPP. Ryan is not only a producing loan officer with Cobalt Mortgage, but he is also the co-founder of Mortgage MAPP. Mortgage MAPP allows loan officers to create their own branded app that can be shared with their partners, prospects, and clients. Mortgage MAPP was created by loan officers for loan officers as a marketing and branding tool that sits right on the phones of the people who need our information at the moment that is most crucial to our business to secure deeper relationships and more referrals. Without any further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to today's webinar presenter, Ryan Leopold.
Great, Beverly. Thank you so much. Appreciate the intro. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us today. I'm just going to kind of jump right into it and, really focus today more, instead of it's based on product per se, more on kind of, what's really important to our business now and well into the future is really just comes down to, as we all know, just engagement with the people that matter most to our business, being our partners, our prospects, and our clients. Okay, so that's why I kind of titled this is Engagement Marketing, the Key to More Referrals. And really, as we talk about kind of how our industry, and when I say our industry, like Beverly said, I've been in the business for 15 years, and I've pretty much done, from a marketing standpoint, I've pretty much done everything over the last 15 years and kind of always try to be proactive and forward thinking about what's going on in the lives of our partners and clients and the lives of kind of just technology in general to get the most out of my marketing. So I looked at this from the standpoint from us as mortgage professionals and kind of where we are. Like Beverly said, I've been in the business for 15 years, and it really has felt like over that 15 years we've been in a refi boom. So the nice thing about that is been able to kind of pad, as different phases of the refi boom have happened, it's kind of enabled us to basically add to our pipeline and have referrals, always building purchase business, but having refis come in there to kind of get us more numbers and stay engaged with our past clients. So it was always easy over the last 15 years. Every 2 or 3 years, I was calling my clients basically saying, hey, it's Ryan again, Cobalt Mortgage, how's it going? Guess what, rates went down. We can save you a percentage point in your interest rate and save you a couple $100 a month. So over that period of time, it was just a really easy, that was just an always easy in for a conversation to engage with my clients. But as I started to think about it, and I started thinking through the marketing that I've done in the past and some of the things I continue to do, is once those refinances go away, whether that's going to be 6 months from now or 18 months from now, none of us really know for sure when rates are going to start going up. But as we refinance everybody to 4% or below, the need for that call is going to go down, and we're not going to really have a lot to call our clients about other than just true engagement and keeping in touch with them. So I also looked at kind of the marketing that I do and the marketing we all do and kind of look at it from a different angle, especially when refinances go away. So I just took some time and thought about it. I said, okay, let's just look at a newsletter, for example. I don't know about you guys, but when I get my mail at home, I literally say, bills on the right, everything else is on the left. So my newsletter, which I send to myself, gets sent to the left. Everyone from real estate agent, from my dentist, from chiropractors, from everybody just tends to go in the garbage because newsletters just tend to be garbage. Emails, if we're not emailing our clients for lower rates and saving money, it's a little bit tough to stay engaged with them via email. So a lot of emails just in general kind of just tend to end up being spam. Business cards are great, but I don't know about you. If I look in my drawer right now, I've got a drawer full of random business cards that eventually I'll just clean out and they'll go in the garbage, and they're just kind of as good as they are doing a certain interaction. And again, on the phone call side, it's obviously always important we stay in touch with our clients, give them a call and see how things are going. But And again, if we don't have that refinance to call them about, it's a little bit tough, and it starts to become telemarketing if I'm not calling with, hey, here's a benefit of lowering your rate and saving some money. So that's kind of the way I look like kind of the older marketing stuff that I used to do, and I still do all those things. I just don't, as I look forward, I don't do it as the #1 motivating factor in my marketing and branding of my business. We look at more modern marketing in the 2000s. We look at websites. At the time, as things progressed with technology and marketing, websites became kind of a newer thing. Now it's to the point where everyone has a website. Most people within their business have a Facebook fan page. I do. I still kind of post things every day. I've got 30 or 40 loan officer friends who I'm friends with that I get their stuff that integrate my Facebook every single day. So I think people are kind of numb to the Facebook thing. It's a great way to kind of get your stuff in front of people all the time, but people want Facebook for personal stuff, I think it's important to have business stuff, but they like personal stuff. I don't know anybody who really uses Twitter to a lot of success in their business. I've had blogs for years. I've had video blogs for years. It got to the point where on the video blog side, we hired a full-time video guy on our team, and we did weekly, my partner and I did weekly video blogs to get messages out and engage with our client. And so all those things were great, and we still do them in some capacity. But really, my objective of being top of mind to my clients, staying engaged with my clients, and being there for my clients and realtors really wasn't being accomplished by kind of the old way of marketing or even some of the newer stuff. It just wasn't accomplishing my goal. So I had to look at things differently, especially as we know in our business. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. And we all talk to our friends about it within the industry, and we know that once interest rates go up and refinances kind of fall off, okay, it's all going to be about purchase business. We all know that. And so all of us as loan officers, even if over the last 10 years our business has been 80 to 90% purchase business, which is great, and us who have focused our business around purchases are going to continue to survive and thrive, but we're going to face a different challenge. And the challenge we're all going to be facing is that there's going to be loan officers who did not set up their business to be around purchases, as thoroughly as others, that they're now going to be fighting for our market share. So we're going to have a smaller market share of business to go after if it's just all purchases, and we're going to have more people trying to survive in this industry, let alone thrive. We're all going to be fighting for the same market share. So we have to be looking at the way we, for me personally, I had to be looking at, and I had to make a choice, in 2012 and coming into 2013, how did I want to brand my business differently? How did I want to stand out to the people that matter most to my business, meaning my clients, prospects, and partners? So that way, again, then I'm using technology and marketing to be top of mind and being there when I'm needed most to the people that are most important to my business. So again, forward thinking, I wanted to look at, okay, Facebook and Twitter and blogs and all those things are great, but again, that's kind of everyone and a lot of people already have those things. Let's look forward in what not every loan officer has as a different way to go about things. And I looked at mobile marketing and really the use of cell phones and how those have progressed over the last 20 or 30 years as another great way and a new way to stay top of mind and engage with our clients. So I just kind of want to briefly go through and kind of explain, like, who remembers, car phones? Look, like 25, 30 years ago, my parents had a car phone. It was like $1 a minute to call people, but you had phones that were available that were different than just a landline, which is pretty cool. Then you kind of had the Zach Morris brick phone in the 80s that kind of caught on. Phones started to become cool when it became flip phones. That started to come up, maybe 10 years ago. And you kind of have over the last 13 years this whole kind of progression of cell phones into smartphones where everyone has a phone, if not a smartphone, okay? And somewhere within this transition over the last 13 years, people became addicted to their cell phones, okay? People became addicted to technology and needing that information and needing to be connected with people in a different way. And it was interesting. I was talking to Beverly before we jumped on that I actually looked up a study and said, okay, there's got to be a name for this, addiction to mobile technology. And what's weird is there actually is a phobia called nomophobia, which is an addiction to mobile market or to mobile devices. And there's actually in Southern California a treatment center for people who are addicted to their cell phones. So it's gotten to the point where people are so ingrained with having their phones on them at all times in a big part of their life that they can't even function every day without having it in front of them. So it's actually getting to the point where we're seeing that the population, as it goes up, we're actually having more. It's starting to have people are having more cell phones than there actually is population. So more cell phones are actually in circulation as things progress than cell phones than people are available. So that's pretty crazy. And I think you had a poll question, Beverly?
Yes, I do. Actually, before I get to the poll question, I just forgot to mention before that we are going to be sending the PowerPoint presentation and a recording of this webinar to everyone who registered for the webinar. I'm getting a few questions already, people asking if they'll have access to the PowerPoint. You definitely will. Tomorrow we'll be sending out the PowerPoint and a recording of the webinar, so you'll be able to access all of that. Okay, so we have one poll question for you right now. It's going to come up on your screen, and the question is, have you ever been far away from home when you realized you forgot your cell phone and gone back for it? And I know this is something that I have done many times. So I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on this. So if you could answer yes or no, I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer. Okay, we're going to close the poll in another few seconds. All right, so the results, 71% of you said yes, and 29% of you said no. Not surprising at all.
Yeah, there's no question that if I leave my cell phone anywhere at home, or even when it falls like in between my seat and kind of the middle console of my car, I kind of freak out. So yeah, having my cell phone on me is important. So as I kind of looked again back to how I looked at my business and how I engaged with the people that matter most, and knowing that people are so addicted to their cell phones and it's like the heartbeat of their lives, it's in front of them all the time, is that the same way that, if we're feeling that way, isn't the same way that our prospects, our clients, our real estate agents, financial planners, CPAs, everyone that's important to our business or everyone we come in contact with kind of share the same feeling. They have their phones with them all the time. So I kind of asked myself, if that's the case, why wasn't I, or why aren't we marketing our business on the one thing people use most and have in front of them all the time? So that was a question that I asked myself in 2012 and coming into 2013 to kind of change the way I do business. And look at it from the standpoint of marketing. Like you kind of have the old way with newsletters and emails and postcards and things like that, which isn't bad, and I still do all those different things, versus marketing at the heartbeat of real estate agents most of them don't even have landlines anymore. They're on their phones all the time, and clients have their cell phones on them all the time. So they're just changing the way I market to kind of being, on something that they're in front of all the time and kind of capture that audience. When it kind of comes to our product a little bit, there's an interesting story kind of how we got to this point. So my partner, who's been in the business for 12 or 13 years as well, about a year and a half ago, he wanted his own app, okay? He wanted to have something that he could give to his clients and his real estate agents as a way to be branded, to be top of mind, and something of value to give to them. So literally, he made up a mortgage calculator, okay, that had some contact information on there, and he wanted to make it really sticky, so he made the icon of the app, okay, a picture of himself with his name on it. So as you kind of cut through the clutter of all the different icons and apps that are on our smartphones, he wanted his to stand out, so he made it actually a picture of his face. All the client had to do was tap his app, and it would come up with a basic mortgage calculator, and they could use it as they're out shopping for houses, okay? So as he was sharing with all his clients and all his partners, he was getting a ton of downloads, hundreds and sometimes, thousands of downloads in the app stores, okay? And so what happens when you get a lot of downloads, your app starts going to the top of the app list. So if back then, year and a half ago, if you put mortgage calculator into the app store, his app would come to the top. So simply by doing that, loan officers from across the country were calling him saying, that's really cool, I love your app, is this a business? Can you make me one? And at that time, it really wasn't a business. It was just something he wanted for himself, and his clients and agents loved it, that it got to the top of the list. So people were calling him, and he said, yeah, I'll make it. And he made 300 apps for loan officers from across the country with no marketing, nothing more than a very simple app that people wanted, and it just kind of took off on its own. So when he brought it up to me, I said, absolutely, I want my own app. And then when we came together and talked about it, we said, well, how can we take that idea and share it with other mortgage professionals? If these 300 people want it with no marketing and just finding it on the App Store, what would other loan officers want? And what are the features that I would want as a producing loan officer every day to make it really useful to my business and sticky to my business, so that way my partners would want to have it on their phones and my clients would want to have it on their phones. And that's really how our product, that's how Mortgage MAPP came to be. So the first feature kind of this is, I wanted to have my picture and my name as being the icon of the app, okay? Makes sense. It's the one thing that people have in front of them all the time. And again, studies show that people have opened up their cell phones up to 150 times a day. And again, so if my app's there, I'm just top of mind right in front of them all the time. So that was the first kind of thing that we wanted on there that was really useful. And then when we talked about building the inside of the app, what features would it have to make it useful for not only for me as a loan officer, but for my partners and my clients? So the first one is going to be, if you kind of see this, what the app looks like once you open it up, is we have kind of our information, our MLO number, and the company we work for. And then I wanted an easy way for my clients and partners to get a hold of me. So they hit the contact tab, they can email me, they can call me, they can call my office, whatever. Easy to contact me from that tab. I wanted to make sure my app was easy to share, because we can use this as a business card. And literally, like when I go out, I don't really have my business card on me anymore, because all I do is find ways that I can share my app with people. So if anybody ever asks me for a business card, I always pull my phone out, I open my app, I hit the share tab right here in the middle, I put in their cell number, and I share my app with my realtor partners, my clients, and my prospects, and now I'm on their phone. Okay, so that's always my goal, is to get my app on as many people's phones as possible. And so we had to go a little bit deeper than that, is even if I get a great referral from, say one of my realtors refers me to a buyer, okay? So that buyer still might want to do a little bit of research on me before they reach out. So in the more section, we put in there the ability to put your Facebook, if you have Twitter, if you have LinkedIn, if you have your website, your blog, YouTube channel, anything that you want the client to kind of learn about you, they can learn on the More tab. So it's kind of everything about you is kind of there. So easy to contact, easy to share, and the More tab. And then we have some useful features we wanted to put on there, because the mortgage calculator on the original version was really popular. It was just the mortgage calculator. So if they were in front of a house and they wanted to calculate payments, it was really easy to do, and it was really useful to everybody who had it. So we have a really good mortgage calculator on there. We added some features like news. So there's mortgage and real estate and financial news that's funneled in every day. Interest rates we put on there, but from a very kind of 30,000 square foot level, or fit level, that it's just funneling in Freddie Mac data that kind of shows the history of interest rates. Kind of, hey, they were high, they've come down, they've crept up a little bit. It kind of gives a story. We had to be very careful on the rate side, because everybody doesn't want rates posted. And two, for compliance reasons, we had to be careful about that. But it gives people an idea. And then we wanted to give kind of buyers a little more information, so we have video guides on there that teach kind of home buyers everything that we teach them during our consultations. So DTI and loan programs, FHA versus VA versus conforming, what's jumbo, what's loan to value, what's all those kind of different things, what's the whole home buying process like. So we wanted to make it a little more sticky to our consumers. So when I give it to a client, okay, that right there just kind of shows, gives them a little bit more value and a little more education. So that's kind of, that's kind of the stickiness factor we want to put in there. And this is really interesting. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Building Champions. They do coaching for a lot of people in the mortgage industry. So my coach, Coach Steve Scanlon, who coached with me for years, he is not tech savvy really at all. And so when I shared this idea with him a couple months ago or 6 months ago, he's like, that's great, Ryan. Share it with me. I'll take a look. I'll put it on my phone. I'll support you any way I can. And I actually got this email from him about a month ago. He said, Ryan, your app is still on my phone, and I see your face often. I suppose that's proof that it works because now I think about you all the time. And that was my whole point, is I wanted to be, I want to be top of mind to him, and it just jumped out to him. He came to that own conclusion on his own without me kind of teaching him this. He just said, yeah, I think about you all the time. And that's what I want. I want my realtors to think about me all the time. I want my clients to think about me all the time. So when that time comes up for a referral that's most crucial to our business, we're right there in front of them all the time. And we're there in a device that they're in front of all the time. And number two, we're there all the time as opposed like a newsletter, it's in front of them for 2 seconds and then they throw it in the garbage. An email could be in front of them for a couple seconds and then it's in spam or they delete it. Or a phone call can be great for that 5 to 10 minutes, but then it's kind of gone and they're moving throughout their day. So those are kind of some of the features that we liked. And we've been launched nationally for about 5 months now. And already we're getting a ton of great responses, not only within the mortgage community in general, but it's actually getting a lot of national attention. So we got some attention from the Seattle PI, from CBS Money Watch, from SiliconValley.com. Those are kind of some of the areas where you've seen some information that's being published of them just kind of seeing it out there and liking it and kind of writing stories on it. Also, with the clients that we have, just in the first 5 to 6 months, we're getting a ton of great responses from Craig from Colorado. Says it's a very handy app that gets people the information they need to know. George said I've had mortgage apps before, and this one is a lot better. Okay. Lisa says it's a great app. When people ask me how it works, I text it to them and go through the features. They always say that's a cool thing, and all these things are true because the app again was created by my partner and I as loan officers for loan officers. So as we change things and update it and we get feedback from the mortgage community, it's all really built and based on what we want and what everybody else wants. So that's been great to get really tremendous feedback from the community so far. This part of the app is probably the feature that I think is one of the most important, that we're going to be updating the most over the next 60 to 90 days. So right now, in general, as we share our business card's only as good as going from me to my real estate agent, and hopefully they have some on them when they refer me to their clients. Or if I give to a client, nobody's really keeping my business card around looking for a way to refer. And if they do hand my business card or my information off to somebody, I don't really know who has it. So we wanted to make that sharing ability and that ability for our business card to go viral be in a way that we could actually track it. Okay, so you can kind of see here, this is how you share it. You open up the share tab, you put their cell number in, hit send, and it says, hey, I've shared my digital business card with you. Okay, and now all they do is hit a link. It opens it up in the Android App Store, and Apple kind of has more of a unique way to open it up that's actually easier than going through iTunes. And then, boom, within 2 or 3 seconds, it's on their phone as your app. Okay? And when they do that, and when the client goes in, they have the ability to register and just put their name, email address, and phone number to take the next step of getting into the app. So at least at a minimum right now, we have a way to track how many people have my app on their phone, and then and most of the time I can track who has my app on their phone. And this is the feature again that we're extending the most, is that you're going to see soon that we're going to have a real dynamic way to track, who a realtor referred it to, okay, and who that client referred it to, and kind of start having a tree going out so we can track who all our referrals are coming from, as long as we engage the product and we get it out there. And really that's what it's all about, is getting the product out to as many realtors, clients as possible. As we built this, and my partner will attest to it, that handles most of the tech or all the tech side, he had to build this app to make it easy for me. Okay, I'm not really that tech savvy when it comes to day-to-day things, so I wanted to make the app, at least for me, very simple, so that I could buy the app within 5 minutes, have it on my phone, and be able to share it with people. So I open it up, I buy it, put my logo, my name, all my information, my social media stuff. It's done, and now it's on my phone. So it's super easy to build your own app. Okay. And when it comes to kind of on the real estate side, and when it just comes to our engagement with our clients, or just in general, the number one rule in real estate is location, location, location. So I want to have, and there's a good story that kind of brings this all together for me, is that I wanted to have my information. I want to be branded on the most crucial space in people's lives when it comes to technology is being my face as an icon on their phone, okay? So with this, I wanted to make sure that I go out of my way to get my information on my clients' phones and my realtors' phones as fast as possible. So an interesting story on that was I met with a client about 3 weeks ago. New buyer, I always, when I meet with new buyers, I say, hey, have you ever gone through the mortgage process before? Or have you met with any other lenders before you met with me? And she goes, yeah, I actually met with somebody from Home Street Bank. I said, awesome. I know a lot of people from Home Street. Who'd you meet with? And she literally pulled out her phone and was scrolling through 500 names in her contact list, trying to even just remember the loan officer she had met with a week earlier. And so that really just jumped out to me, as that is exactly why I want to have my app on my clients' phones. So immediately when she was doing that, I said, okay, never mind. Let me share my app. I don't really use business cards anymore. Let me share my app with you. So I shared my app with her. I showed her how to download on her phone. Took 2 seconds. I showed her how to use the features as she's out looking for a home and how to stay engaged with me throughout the process and how to follow up with me later on, even well after the transaction. And everybody, she's the same as everybody else. She goes, that's really cool. That's awesome. So I just have to hit this and I can call you and I can do this for mortgage calculations, and that's great. So that just reinforced to me, if I would have asked that same question and I didn't have my own app and she had turned around and said, this is the loan officer I talked to, and she pointed to his app on her phone, that would have been kind of a game changer for me. So I don't want that to happen for my business, so I want my app on all my clients' phones. And when it comes to realtors, I want to be on their phones. And I want to be on there as soon as possible. So I'm in a mad rush to get my app on as many realtor phones as possible. So if another loan officer tries, gets their app, maybe 6 to 12 months from now, that loan officer is now going to try to share their app with my realtor, and my realtor's going to come go, oh yeah, I already have Ryan's on my phone. Do you know him? So I want to be in that position where I'm getting it out there. And again, that's the whole point, is if I can get it on clients and partners and prospects and realtors' phones, I'm going to be top of mind. So the last kind of story on this is we look at purchase business and trying to get buyers and stay with our buyers throughout the process. We have to be top of mind. But with realtors, when some of us have different relationships with realtors, that maybe my realtor has one lender and I'm the only lender they refer, and maybe some of my agents have 2 or 3. But if they have 2 or 3, again, our contact information is going to be buried in their phone. I'm going to rise to the top and hopefully get more referrals. And I have been getting more referrals by having my app on their phone and my picture on their phone. So that's been a great kind of, it's all worked as planned, and that's why I believe so much in this technology and believe so much in implementing this into my practice every day. So worked out for me. And if you want more information on our product, jot this website down. It's Mortgage MAPP. Remember, it's 2 P's, MAPP.com/MO. Okay, make sure you go /MO. If you want to give me a call and kind of chat about it, if you want to learn more about the product, obviously you can get all the information from the website. You can also call me up and ask me specific questions as well, and kind of how I use it every day. And then I'm happy to answer any questions you have on that front. And if you guys have any questions for me now, I'd love to answer them as well.
Okay, Ryan, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, Beverly. I appreciate it.
No problem. We are getting a lot of questions in, so we're going to try to get as many as possible answered by the end of the webinar. But if you have questions and we don't get to it, keep sending them to us, and someone will get back to you in the next few days to answer your questions. So any questions that we don't answer, I'll make sure Ryan gets so he can answer them. And also, again, for those of you who were maybe signed in late, we are going to be sending a copy of the PowerPoint and a recording of the webinar to every person who registered for the webinar tomorrow. So if you missed a part of it, or if you want to reference the PowerPoint, you'll have all that information for you tomorrow. All right, so getting started with our questions. I have quite a few here, so we'll get started with Jim from Chicago. He asked, how fast and easy is it to set up my own app? How fast can I expect it to be up and running?
Yeah, so you can, like I said in the webinar earlier, it takes about 2 to 5 minutes to literally go on there, buy your app, put all your information on, and have it on your phone. So it's really fast, easy, and what's nice about it too is once you go in there and do all that, you can actually edit your information later. So you can put it all in there, and if you want to change your picture, your logo, your phone number, your email, you can change it at any time, and it automatically As you change it on the website, on the back end of the website, as you're building it, it automatically changes it on your phone as well. So that's a really great feature too.
Okay, great.
Great question. Great question.
Okay, our next question is from Jennifer from Texas. Can I edit my app if I change companies, if I want to change my picture, information, and is it easy to edit and change?
Yep. Yeah, same thing. Really easy to edit. And that was one of the features we had to make on there, is that as people change companies or they change pictures or they just want new information, it's really easy to go in there. It takes 30 seconds, 60 seconds to change things. And then again, as you change them on the back side, it automatically changes it on the app as well.
Great. Okay, the next question is from Michael from Florida. What is the best way to share the app to get it on my agents' and clients' phones?
Great question. So what I've found, again, the nice thing about this is, I'm a loan officer in the trenches with you guys every single day. So when it comes to sharing, what I've found the best practice, and we have a whole video library and tutorials of different ways to share, by far the most efficient way to share is one-on-one. Okay? So it's one-on-one when I'm meeting with a realtor. I always make it part of my practice. Or one-on-one with a client because, A, I want to make sure they put it on their phone. I show them how to put it on their phone. And then I want to make sure they know how to use the features. And lastly, I want to teach them how to share it with other people. If I do, if a client, if I do a great job for you and the idea of mortgages come up with coworkers, family, or friends, you just hit the share button, put their cell number in, send basically my app or my digital business card to people, and now they can easily get a hold of me. So that one-to-one, whether it's face-to-face or over the phone, I just want to make sure that I'm teaching people how to put it on their phone and I'm teaching them how to share it, is by far the most efficient way to get it out there and to ensure that it works the way you want it to work.
Okay. His next question is actually for you personally, Ryan. It's from Jason from Las Vegas. He asked, how are your clients and partners responding when you share your app with them?
Yeah, it's actually really cool because every time I share it with anybody, everybody thinks it's really cool, okay, because it's so different. Like, you have your own app, and the fact that it's branded to me, the loan officer, not to my company, it's not a generic logo of a third-party company who made an app. It's me. It's my app. So it makes people feel like I went and had my own app created. So everybody thinks it's really cool. They like the features. And what's also interesting is every time, I don't want to say 80 to 90% of the times when I share it with real estate agents, they all say, wow, that's really cool. It's going to be so much easier for me to get a hold of you now. And yeah, these are great features, but how do I get my own app? I, as a real estate agent, want my own app as well. So we actually have a product, and because of that, not only because of my interactions with real estate agents and the clients that we already have who are asking about it, we have an agent app as well. The website's Agent Tap, T-A-P-P, so agenttap.com, and it's a pretty similar app, but it's just built for real estate agents. It has some search features in there and a little bit more different stuff on the calculator and things like that. But that's really cool. So they all love it, and by having the agent one, which we recently launched, which we haven't really even launched publicly, it's just kind of been within our community of loan officers. It really is a great way now to go in there, get your own app, share it with real estate agents, and show them how to get their own app because they're going to want it. And now, actually just as of this morning, you can now link your app up with your agent's app as their preferred lender. Okay, so that was a feature that everyone was asking us for, is the kind of that co-branding piece, or to be be attached with the agent's app. So that's kind of a cool feature as well.
Wow, that is actually really cool. I'm glad that you got to do that this morning. Now you got to talk about that.
It was literally this morning. We launched it this morning on the outside. Yeah, so it was pretty exciting.
That's great. Okay, next question is from Eric from California. He asks, is it easy to cancel if it does not work for me or meet my objectives?
It is. Yeah, it's super simple. So we don't have any contracts. There's no setup fees. So if you go in there and build your own app, and after, within that first 30 days, if you don't like it, call us up and let us know you want to cancel. We'll refund your money in the first 30 days. And anytime after that, if you're into it for 6 months and it's just not working for you and you want to cancel, just give us a call and we'll cancel it. It's very easy. And what's been kind of cool is over the – 5 to 6 months of launching, we've had 3 cancellations that have all been kind of for not really because of the product or because it's not working. It's more because A, they're out of the business, or they're in areas where it's kind of tough to use mobile technology. So it's worked out really well. People love it.
Great. Okay, we have a few more questions that we're going to get to, and then we're going to, we'll see if we have time for any more. This is from Andrew from New Jersey. Any issues with compliance I should be concerned about? This is actually coming from a lot of people on the questions.
Yes. So again, another great feature, the fact that I'm a producing loan officer. Okay, so when I built this for our company, Cobalt Mortgage, and we launched it not only for myself but the loan officers here first, we went through 8 weeks, and we all know how tough compliance is. I went through 8 weeks of compliance to deal with every spot, like where the MLO number goes, where the NMLS number goes, where you need the company address. We took rates and APR off just to not have rates on there, so we didn't have to have APR. Kind of where's the source of our news? Where's the privacy policies when they register for the app? So literally every angle of this has been gone through the fine-tooth comb, at least from our company, who is very strict about that, which most are. So as different loan officers from across the country have been buying it, we already know that we have most of our bases covered. We've rarely, as they shared it with their marketing departments and have gotten it out there, the compliance has been any issue. And as we ever hear of any of the small little changes, because some states are a little bit different, we're just changing them on our end to just add and add and add to make compliance not a barrier of entry.
Okay, great. All right, one more question. Kelly from Connecticut asked, can any of the content or tabs be customized for offices or for an entire company?
Great question. Yeah, we've got that request a lot as well. So as we meet with different loan officers and as they share the app with their marketing department, with their branch managers, with their CEOs, we're finding that there's 2 different ways that companies, loan officers individually have bought it a ton. Companies, which we're working with several of them now, where they've come into us and either want a couple things. Either A, they want to market this to all their loan officers, so that's really easy. We just kind of give them a couple emails and we show them how to kind of share it. Just share it with your loan officers, and they can go and buy it on their own. Or we've had companies actually want to go in and brand certain features, where they said, hey, we like your news tab, but we would like to have our own news feed into that every day. Or we like your video section, but we want to have our own videos in there, or whatever. We've actually gone in and created customized tabs per bigger offices or bigger companies to be specific on the needs they have using our platform. So that's something we've engaged with several companies, and we continue to engage with several different companies who kind of want that. So there's different ways you can go about doing it. But all of them are available, absolutely.
Okay, great. I just have one more question that came in, and then we are going to sign off for today. And if you continue to have questions, definitely keep sending them because we will get back to you. A lot of people are asking, what phones and operating systems is this compatible with?
Yeah, it's compatible with Apple and Android at this point.
Okay. And people are asking because the new BlackBerry 10 is coming out, if it's going to be compatible with BlackBerry as well.
It could be, yeah. So we're kind of looking at market share. BlackBerry went down so much in market share. And Windows phones, I think it's like 0.5% of people, even less than that, have actually Windows phones. So as the need arises and as our community tells us what they want, we'll do BlackBerry and Windows when the need arises. But gosh, 97% of all smartphones are Android or iPhone based. So yeah, I mean, all those things will be coming down the road for sure in some capacity.
Great. Okay, so we are going to conclude the webinar now. Again, if you have questions, even if you think of something after the webinar and we've signed off already, you can email Ryan at You can give him a call. The website to look and see if you want to purchase Mortgage MAPP is on the screen, so mortgagemapp.com/mo. And I just want to thank everyone for their time, and again, thank you, Ryan, for a great presentation. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the day.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Beverly. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.